Hey, Dimitri. Aren't you supposed to be on break today? What's got you down?
It's nothing. I suppose I'm just finding it difficult to relax. It is vexing to no end to lay around doing nothing, while everyone else busies themselves with vital work.
Nobody's forcing you to take vacations or anything. We just want you to have a little break every now and again. Why are you so desperate to work anyway?
Because it is my duty. No. It is the only way I know how to live. As part of the royal bloodline, my life has never for a moment belonged to me. Not even at the instant of my birth. And as a survivor of that horrible tragedy, there are certain responsibilities only I can shoulder.
I don't get it. Why does all that stuff have to fall on you? Nothing's gonna go the way you want if you can't bring yourself to trust people who just want to help. And don't even try to tell me you'd be happy with that.
All I want is to ease the pain, both for those who perished that day and for those who yet live. I'm fully aware that I will need to make sacrifices if I ever hope to accomplish that goal. But I will not drag others into my own personal crusade. I won't let anyone else suffer. So, you see, it's better for me to carry the burden myself. And better for everyone else as well.
You say you don't want to see people suffer. But what about you, Dimitri? What about your pain? You don't have a hope in the world of caring for other people if you can't care for yourself first.
I'm not sure how to respond to that. And in truth, I don't know how to alleviate my own pain. I've never given the matter any thought. What would happiness even look like for me?
How can you not know something like that? Just think about it. What kind of things make you smile? Maybe when you finally conquer a tough rival? Or hold a banquet after surviving a dangerous battle?
I don't believe I bear the right to such happiness, but if that time were to come, it would be upon my death, having devoted my life to forming a peaceful kingdom full of joyful citizens.
Seriously? You can be downright dismal sometimes, you know that? Why is death the first thing that comes to mind when you think about being happy?
Dismal? Yes, perhaps you're right. But I find it difficult to consider anything else that may cause me joy.
Come on, nothing? What about ending this war quick and celebrating with all your friends? I'm sure Dedu and the others would whip up the grandest feast you've ever laid eyes on.
No, such revelry would be wasted on me. But I suppose seeing the smiles on everyone's faces would be enough.
Thanks for thinking of us, oh great king. But fine, if you want to carry your own burdens for the rest of your life, so be it. I'll just have to take extra good care of you though, since you clearly won't do it yourself. For starters, you're gonna take a break, and by the goddess, you're gonna like it. Come on, Dimitri. We're gonna get you away from camp for a bit.
No words can express my gratitude.
Did you, sir? We'd like to hear your opinion on the matter we discussed earlier.
Regarding Count Karen, as I discussed with Gustav.
Looks like things are finally changing, Dedu. They've really started warming up to you, huh?
They have. That soldier I was speaking to lost his mother in Dusker. She was a knight of the kingdom. Naturally, his feelings toward me were complicated. We argued many times.
You arguing? Can't imagine what that looks like.
I thought it better than just letting him hurl abuse at me. Such a reaction was surprising for me as well. But now we have fought together, worried together, faced death together. I have shown him what I'm capable of, and he has come to trust me in turn.
Nice. Sounds like you really earned his respect then. Congrats, Dedu.
Strange. Why are you so happy for me?
Because we're friends. And friends are happy for each other when good stuff happens to them.
Are they?
Anyway, now you've just got to keep it going and get even more people to trust you. Same goes for me. And Dimitri while we're at it.
You're right.
In the meantime, I'm gonna keep winning battles until I prove myself to you once and for all. So make sure you keep an eye on me out there, Dedu. Because I'm gonna be the most valuable fighter we've got. What? What's so funny?
Nothing. I look forward to your performance, but you already have my trust. No matter your origin or identity.
Really? You never know when I might betray you and turn my sword on Dimitri, though. Not to mention this weird power I have. Can you seriously say you trust me with that in mind?
Your power is concerning, but it does not define you. I'm sure you would not so easily betray His Majesty or myself, but know that if you do, I will cut you down without hesitation. That's who I am. You must understand by now.
Weird way to tell me you trust me, but it's got Dedu written all over it. I'm honored.
It's been a while since we sent that letter, but we still haven't received a response.
Yeah. We know the village chief got it, though. And we know he read it. The soldier who delivered it confirmed as much.
But he never wrote back. I wonder why.
Hard to say. Maybe he just doesn't want to get involved. Or maybe he doesn't remember us. Part of me almost wonders if my mom didn't make him promise not to tell me anything. Not that I have any proof she'd do that. It's too bad, you know? We should probably assume we're never getting a response and just leave it at that. And we don't have any other leads either, so there's not much point holding out hope. I mean, yeah, I want to know more about my mom, but it's not the end of the world if I can't. You had to give up learning about your parents too, right?
I did, but
No matter what kind of past my mom had, she'll always be my mom. And I'll always be me. I know that she put every bit of herself into raising me, and that's what matters. There's nothing more important than that in my book.
you're right. Whatever your parents did before they had you, and wherever they are now, they'll always be your parents.
Glad you understand. And hey, not knowing the truth lets me make up all sorts of stories about her in my head.
Oh, you mean like imagining she was actually a high-ranking noble, forced into obscurity?
Not a bad idea, but not totally original either. I was thinking more along the lines of a legendary knight, known throughout every inch of Fodlan, or maybe a mysterious adventurer who came from somewhere far beyond its borders.
That would be incredible if it were true, and it would certainly explain why she was so knowledgeable. Still, I'm sorry I couldn't help you in the end.
It's all good, Ash. Without you, I never would have spent all this time thinking about my mom and who she really was. So even though we came up empty-handed, I'd say the journey itself was entirely worth it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should probably get going. Just remembered I've got a huge to-do list and not nearly enough time to do it. See ya!
Huh? I could have sworn I saw the commander here a moment ago.
Oh, you just missed them. I can take a message if you want, though.
In that case, please deliver this letter.
What's wrong? Your footwork is even sloppier than usual.
You noticed that, huh? It's nothing. There's just been a lot on my mind lately is all. And I was kinda lost in thought when you lunged at me, so I couldn't really react too well.
Training isn't the time for idle contemplation. You're worthless as a sparring partner if you let your mind wander. Not to mention that you do the same thing in actual battles. Getting distracted when you're training is one thing. Do it out there, and the enemy will cut you down without hesitation. We've been through this before. If there's something on your mind, just come out with it already.
I was just thinking you have a pretty good read on me now, too.
It was obvious something was wrong from the way you were fighting. And this is just payback for last time, so no complaining.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not.
If you say so. There's still something I don't understand, though. Where did you learn to fight like that? You clearly don't move like a knight, but I've never seen a mercenary use those techniques either.
I guess you could say I taught myself. I didn't really have one teacher who showed me everything. If anything, I just kind of picked stuff up as I moved from one band of mercs to the next.
That explains it. I was wondering why your style was so hard to read. Both knights and mercenaries use a standard set of battle-tested tactics. A book they all play by. But you're not bound to any single convention. I suppose that's what I found strange.
Probably doesn't help that I don't have to draw my sword like everyone else. When I think about it like that, it might have been for the best that I taught myself instead of subscribing to a particular school of thought.
A unique style all your own. Fascinating. Teach me.
I'd be glad to, but I'm the only one who can use my sword. It won't be easy to replicate.
That's for me to decide. If nothing else, I can adapt your moves for my own purposes. The more styles I know, the better.
If you say so. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'll do what I can. Oh, and you can teach me in exchange. The more styles, the better, right? You fight sorta like a knight, but also sorta not. I mean that in a good way, of course. I'm not sure how to put it. It's almost like you react to the situation as it plays out. So, yeah. If we can combine our two styles somehow, I bet we'll both end up stronger for it.
Maybe so.
He's making a run for it, Felix! Don't let him get away!
Not a chance. He's mine!
Nice work out there. It's a real confidence boost knowing you have my back.
I could say the same for you. Now that I know your style better, I have less trouble predicting your movements.
Glad to hear it. Guess you must have a pretty good read on me by now, huh?
On your sword, perhaps?
There you go again. You know, I've gotten a good grasp on the way you think. It's like you decide on a role for yourself, then do whatever you can to see it through. Of course, the role changes depending on the situation and who's fighting beside you. Sometimes you attack, sometimes you defend. It's incredible just how versatile you are.
No need for compliments. That's simply how I was taught to be.
Really? By who?
My father. He may prefer a spear or magic, but he's more than capable with a sword in his hands too.
Right. Makes sense it'd be Rodrigue. His weapon of choice might be different, but he adapts himself to the flow of battle just as well as you do. Probably better, actually.
The style didn't start with him, though. It's something the leaders of our house have passed down throughout the ages. House Fraldarius has been the king's lance and shield for generations. Ever since the time of Kaifin, sworn friend of the great King Lug. At times, we've been sent to defeat the crown's enemies. At others, we've held back to defend the throne. I admit the style has its uses, idiotic history of blind faith aside.
Huh. So that's why you fight the way you do. You're indispensable, Felix. Not just to Dimitri, but to everyone else, too.
I suppose if I'm a lance and shield, you would be like some kind of projectile, an arrow or a stone.
You're saying I'm good at taking the enemy by surprise, right? You sure could learn to be more direct with your compliments, you know?
You can interpret it that way if you want. In any case, you're just as important to this army as I am. Between that sword of yours and the way you can shapeshift, nobody ever knows what you'll do next. Some might say your powers are dangerous, but I think they provide the perfect element of surprise.
Huh. Glad to hear you say so.
There's one fault I can't get past, though. You can never stay focused during battle. It's almost like you're talking to someone while you fight. Someone in your head that... Hey, what's with the smile?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I'm just really happy we've gotten to know each other so well. Only a true friend would be that open with their criticism. Thanks, Felix.
Say what you will. That's the last piece of advice I'm ever giving you.
He wasn't really mad, was he? It's so hard to tell sometimes. see the day you shut yourself in your room to read. I hear you've been pouring through every book on magic you can get your hands on.
Hey, I read sometimes. Anyway, I had this great idea I needed to do some research for.
I'm afraid to ask. Wait, what's that diagram?
A perceptive question. This here is a blueprint I came up with for a new kind of fire orb.
Really? You're talking about those flame-flinging siege weapons, right? Because that looks pretty small for a fire orb.
Well, that's the point. I want to make it so that our knights can carry one around as easily as they do their swords.
What would that accomplish? Knights don't have the training to use something like that.
Right you are. The wielder needs both special training and some natural magical ability to use one. At least that's the case with our current fire orbs. Which brings me to my main goal, making it so that anyone can use them, no matter their background. I mean, think about the havoc we could wreak if your average knight or myrmidon could also blast out some fire magic whenever they wanted.
That's actually a great idea, Sylvain. I bet we could come up with some amazing battle strategies with those things.
Right? I knew someone as special as you would understand. Either way, it won't be ready anytime soon. I'm not sure when I'll finally be done with it, honestly.
If you don't hurry, the war will be over before you're finished.
Battle's not the only place it'll come in handy. People who don't have any other training could use it for self-defense.
Huh. Come to think of it, that's the same reason you were so interested in my sword. Does this have to do with House Gautier? I know your family's been dealing with Serang for years now.
Yeah, more or less. We've gone through some pretty tough times. My father's first wife, Miklon's mom, she died in a Serang raid. We've managed to hold the border for about 100 years now thanks to the Lance of Ruin. But they keep pushing our limits. Frankly, I admire their determination.
It did seem like Margrave Gautier was pretty used to fending off their attacks.
It's not like he's had much choice. Once I inherit his title, I'll keep doing whatever I can to hold them off. But it's going to be tough without a stronger military. If the king had forces of his own, he could send them in at a moment's notice whenever we were in trouble. Problem is, the last king already tried something like that. It ticked the local lords off to no end.
Makes sense. If the king grows stronger, everyone else loses a little bit of their own influence in comparison. Anyone would have a hard time swallowing that.
I'd say it's worth it if it means the kingdom won't descend into chaos. Whatever the case, any reforms we enact will need to be peaceful and well-founded, which is exactly why I want us to be able to fight on our own, without having to rely on our relic or on other lords.
Well, Sylvain, you actually sound like a real heir now. It's a nice change from all the skirt chasing you used to do.
Hey, the future of my house is on the line here. Even the laziest guy in the world would be worried about that. Sure, the kingdom might be a half-frozen stretch of dirt, but it's my half-frozen stretch of dirt. And it's the only home I've got.
Home, huh? Hey, Ingrid. Not too often I see you wandering in town like this.
Oh, I was just out for a walk. What about you? Are you here to do some shopping?
Yeah. Dedu asked me to pick up some ingredients for dinner.
Well, if it is food shopping you're after, then your best bet would be the boulevard past the river.
What are you so flustered for? You're not hiding something, are you?
What, me? No, not at all. It's nothing really. I'm just surprised how much you can find here.
It's a far cry from the struggling little towns dotting the rest of the kingdom, that's for sure.
Yes. Galatea is one of the regions that's found itself facing particularly hard times lately. A beautiful town like this, filled with happy people, hardly feels like it's part of the same kingdom as the blighted, barren lands I call home. The street lined end to end with blacksmiths is an especially magnificent sight. Not to mention all the wonderful smells wafting from the food stalls. Sorry, I lost myself for a moment there. In any case, it's great to see just how prosperous this town has become.
Don't worry, I get where you're coming from. Seems like there's barely any crime here either.
I suppose I have much to learn from this town, as the future Count Galatea.
Hey, speaking of, have you figured out what you want to do yet?
Not at the moment, no. In fact, part of the reason I came into town today was to do some further searching. It's my dream in life to stand as a knight by His Majesty's side, just as my late fiancé once did. And even if I do not become a knight like he was, there must be a way I can protect His Majesty in a similar fashion. Perhaps I could teach the people of my house the ways of farming and travel the kingdom cultivating land for those who need it most.
That's an idea. Definitely an unusual job for a count, but it'll be welcome for sure. And if you managed to help the kingdom prosper while you did it, people would grow more and more satisfied with the royal family's rule. That's certainly one way to protect the king. If that's the path you choose for yourself, I'll do whatever I can to support you. That's what friends do, after all.
In that case, what would you think of cooperating with me once I inherit my family's title? Just as Tobias did for my grandmother.
Don't tell me. You'd ask me to fetch you meat skewers every day to save you the trip into town?
What? I would never.
It was just a joke, don't worry. But I seriously do want to help. I believe in you, Ingrid.
La 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 la.
How was that? Yeah, good.
Still the same reaction, huh?
Sorry, me and singing just don't mix very well. Though, it did make me feel warm inside. Kinda like I was a kid again, with my mom.
Hey, you do get it! That was a lullaby from a long, long time ago. Nowadays, nobody remembers the lyrics, though. Or sings it to their children, for that matter.
A lullaby, huh? I guess that's why it took me back the way it did. But wait, if nobody knows the words, how are you so sure that's even what it is? Just from how it sounds?
Well, there was this scholar who researched it a few years ago and said as much. Couldn't tell you if they were right, though.
Huh. Honestly, I kinda like that it didn't have any words. That way it can hit you straight in the heart without all that lyrics and meaning stuff getting in the way.
I'm glad to hear you giving music a little more thought now.
And I'm glad I've had so many chances to listen to you sing. Your voice touches people, Dorothea, even if they don't have the knowledge to really appreciate the high-level art of it. I mean, look at me. Bottom of the barrel, and you still practically move me to tears.
Oh, come now, don't talk about yourself like that.
It doesn't really bother me. And I'm not wrong, am I? No birth parents, no real background to speak of, the whole wandering merc gig. It is what it is.
That's quite the positive attitude. I'll have to try a little bit of that myself sometime. In the meantime, I've once again been able to rethink my singing thanks to you. I lost much of my emotion about the craft during my time as a diva, but I can feel it coming back now.
You really are incredible, you know that?
How do you mean?
I don't know, there's just something beautiful about the way you speak. It's like your thoughts just come out of your mouth fully formed, almost perfect. Probably has something to do with all the training you did to become a diva, and all the training you've continued doing since. Meanwhile, here I am struggling to even make proper sentences when I try to talk about your singing.
Thank you for the kind words. It makes me feel a lot better hearing you say those things about me. But for the record, I don't think you're bad with words at all. Even your little speech now was the definition of smooth. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were trying to flirt with me.
Hey, Sedith. What are you staring off into space for?
Oh, it is you. I was just reflecting on the monastery.
Yeah. It's that way, isn't it? In the mountains.
Correct? So close, yet still beyond our reach.
Can't say I ever learned much about it when I was there, but I know it's important to the church.
Yes. It serves as the headquarters of our order. Many saints have been laid to rest there as well. As a sacred ground, Garreg-Mach Monastery is irreplaceable. It is also a place that Flayn and I hold dear to our hearts.
So, your sister feels that way too?
Due to our circumstances, Flayn and I traveled around Fodlan as nomads for a very long time. When we accepted the Archbishop's gracious invitation, I thought we had finally found our safe haven. That it would be taken from us so easily is almost too much to bear.
Well, that's all the more reason to take it back then. I'll do whatever I can to make that happen. Oh, I mean, while staying away from the Archbishop, of course.
You must forgive me for saying what I did back then. My position required I do so. I do not personally believe, however, that any evil resides within you. Whatever the true nature of your power, I trust you wield it with a righteous heart.
So you finally trust me? I'm sure glad to hear that.
Indeed. I am truly grateful to have you as an ally. I know I have no right to say this after regarding you with such suspicion, but we need you. I pray you will continue to lend us your strength, not only for the Church, but for the future of Fodlan itself.
You can count on me, Sedith.
What a pain.
Everything all right, Catherine? Thought I saw Count Karen a second ago.
Yes, I just had to talk to my father about something. He wanted to request some of the church's soldiers as reinforcements, but I don't have the authority to make that decision. For the life of me, I can't understand why he'd come to me for something that only Lady Rhea or Dimitri could help him with.
Whoa, wait. Count Karen is your dad?
Yes. Huh. I could have sworn you knew. Well, I guess you do now. I am, in fact, the daughter of Count Karen of Fargus.
I had no idea. Oh, now that you mention it, you do bear their crest.
Things are complicated with my family, to say the least. But basically, I'm keeping my distance from House Karen for the time being. Right now, I am Catherine, Knight of Saros. No connection to any house or the kingdom.
I see. So you intend to keep serving the Church going forward? But what do you think you would do if the Church and Kingdom broke their alliance?
A foolish question. Obviously, I would side with Lady Rhea. It's not a matter of kingdom or church. My allegiance and my sword lies with Lady Rhea and her alone. Though, of course, I would prefer not to fight my friends and family from back home. So it would be ideal for me if the kingdom and church could play nice forever.
The Archbishop's personal sword, huh? You've got one heavy blade.
What about you? What are you fighting for here? Or is it one of those, I just tripped and fell into it kind of stories?
When it comes down to it, I'm in this for the money. Dimitri puts a lot of trust in me, and I'm generously compensated for what I do. Can't ask for much more than that in my line of work.
That's a very mercenary way of looking at it. Reminds me of someone else.
Aside from that, you might be right. Maybe my coming to Fargus was pure chance. A civil war broke out in the capital right after I joined the Officers' Academy. By the time things died down, Rhea decided to close the school. That's when Dimitri put me in my current role.
Sounds like you've had a rough go of things too. But you're commanding Kingdom troops now, right? That's a pretty good step up. I say that as long as you're living life in a way that would make your past self proud, that's enough.
Make my past self proud, huh?
Easier said than done, I know. But it can't hurt to try, right? Just keep challenging yourself. You'll get there eventually.
Oh, hello. You're looking rather sharp today.
Huh? But this is just the same thing I always wear. It's actually so dirty, it's kind of embarrassing.
Well, aren't you humble? I happen to think that all that grime complements your rugged appearance rather well.
Grime? Sounds like I should go change. And also wash these clothes before they grow legs. Hold on. I smell something, and it's definitely not grime. Flame, are you wearing perfume?
You noticed? This delightful fragrance is apparently in fashion. A dear friend of mine gave it to me.
Wow. I can't believe there's still perfume and fashionable stuff in these dark times.
They exist precisely because of the times. We must not allow the darkness to consume us.
I'm not sure we're gonna get consumed, but you've definitely got a point. The battlefield can be a depressing place. A little positivity goes a long way in raising morale.
Besides, discussing popular trends always livens up a conversation. Don't you agree? Oh, I know. Why don't we go to town and seek out the newest styles? You do not have any other plans today, do you? Come then. There is no time like the present. Okay, next is... Oh, that stall over there appears to have some lovely merchandise.
No, there's more? We probably should head back soon, or Sedith will...
Worry not. My brother is still working. He mentioned he was particularly busy today as well. Actually, it has been a very long time since I've been out shopping like this.
Does Sedith not allow it? He sure seems to want you in arm's reach at all times.
That is correct. I am afraid he cannot help but worry incessantly about me. Were you a gentleman? I am certain the situation would have become quite disastrous if he had caught us together.
Disastrous?
But enough about that. Shall we continue our shopping expedition? I am sure there are many more fashionable items just waiting to be found.
Are you sure it's all right? What if someone says something? If Sedith hears we were out alone together, then he'll...
I do not believe anyone would go to such lengths just to tattle on us. Most people find my brother intimidating, so it is unlikely anyone would approach him over something so trivial.
Well, all right. I'll keep you company a bit longer then.
Hey, was it not I who initially offered to keep you company?
You did?
Don't you remember? You spoke of your low spirits and said that the latest fashions would cheer you up.
I did?
Yes, you did. Now come along. Let us look over there next.
Oh well, not gonna rain on her parade now.
Your Majesty, you will take ill if you keep sleeping at your desk.
Do? Oh, I've done it again. Yes, well, thank you for waking me and sparing my poor neck any further damage.
You sounded pained. Is everything all right?
Dreaming of the past again, I fear.
The tragedy?
No. The day I returned to the capital afterward. Do you remember the child who cursed me after my father's funeral?
Oh, yes. I believe he was the son of a knight who fell in Dusker.
He was furious that I would not take revenge on your people, and even more enraged to see you serving as my vassal. He berated me without mercy, demanding I kill you then and there. All I could do was walk away. Everyone desires revenge for that day. Survivors and the dead alike cry out for retribution.
I know, Your Majesty.
I seek to fulfill the duty they have given me, and have never once flinched from it. And yet, to do. If I were mortally wounded and begged with my dying breath for you to avenge me, what would you do?
I would do it, even at the cost of my life.
And if I told you to forget me, and live for your own happiness?
I would regretfully decline. I cannot know happiness without you by my side. I would still seek vengeance. Just for my own sake, not yours.
Interesting. And nothing I say to the contrary will change your mind?
Your Majesty, can you not live for your own sake?
My life is not my own. It belongs to my kingdom, my people, and the dead. But had I been born to a different fate, well, perhaps I would have traveled outside Folan with you as a mercenary. Or perhaps I'd be a farmer. I confess the thought does sound rather delightful.
Surely you could still tread those paths.
It was a jest to do. I merely said the first thing that came to mind. I am driven by matters on which I cannot permit myself to yield. I hope you understand that.
Well then, all the more reason to get some proper rest. If work remains, I will aid you. If you have difficulty sleeping, I will lend you my ear. But seeing you slumped over at your desk disturbs me. Every time, I fear death has come for you in the night.
Death will never sneak up on me as long as I remain under your watchful attention.
Your Majesty, please.
Though, if I were to die and leave you alone, the aftermath would be horrendous. I suppose I will heed your advice. Just this once.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Ash, you've come at the perfect time.
Why is that? Oh no, am I interrupting?
Not at all. In fact, I'd like you to try this tea.
Sure. Did you create this blend yourself?
I did. Your talk of medicinal herbs inspired me to study them. I created a number of different brews, thinking I might find one suitable for His Majesty. But first, I would like your opinion on the quality.
Taste testing, is it? I'd be happy to help. Oh, this tastes like...
Yes? How do you find it?
What did you use in this?
The same flour you gathered before, mixed with some other herbs, then steamed. I read that doctors in the capital frequently concoct a similar blend. Does it not suit your tastes?
No, I love it. It actually reminds me of something. Of course. This is what Lenato used to give me when he first took me in.
Lord Lenato used to brew this tea?
He sure did. Wow, this really takes me back. I wasn't born into a noble family, so when I started living with Lenato, I had no idea how to act. I was nervous as anything at first, but I'd always calm right down the moment I drank his tea.
I did read that this tea is useful for calming nerves. Perhaps he was trying to make you feel at home.
That sounds like him. I was pretty young at the time, so I never knew what kind of tea it was. But this definitely has the same flavor. Strange to think I've been in the capital for 2 years now and never came upon it again until today. I wonder if Lenato ever served this tea to Grand Duke Rufus.
He never said?
No, I guess the two of them had a falling out a long time ago. He never really talked about his time in the capital, but I think he started studying herbs as a way to help the Grand Duke. Just like you're studying them to aid His Majesty.
It's possible.
Anyway, thank you, Dedue. That really hit the spot. Hey, would you teach me how to brew it sometime? I'd love to let everyone else try it.
Yes, of course.
What's the matter, Ingrid? You sound exhausted.
Oh, it is just that my father's work never ends. Writing battle reports, explaining our Pegasus maintenance costs. There's always something that needs doing. I'm impressed that you, Felix, and His Majesty managed to stay on top of it all.
Are you sure you're okay, Ingrid? It isn't like you to be so worried.
Perhaps I'm simply not suited for desk work. I sound pathetic.
That's my cue to pitch in and help out by treating a lovely lady to a fine meal.
I thought you'd sworn off such flirtatious nonsense.
Can't you just accept a generous offer for once instead of immediately disparaging the giver?
Maybe you're right. In that case, I accept. I reached a good stopping point anyway, so I may as well eat on your coin. Phew. It has been some time since I've eaten this much. I've been so busy lately, my meals have consisted of whatever quick snack I can scrounge up in the moment.
Well, that makes the incredibly hefty bill worth it. Also, it's been a while since I've been able to watch you eat. I think I kind of missed it.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Sorry, that came out all wrong. What I meant to say was that it's a relief to finally see you enjoy a decent meal. I mean, we're basically family, you know? And I'm sure Felix and Dimitri would feel the same way.
Is that so?
When we were talking earlier, you said something about how a person can't cling to the past forever. Well, I think that's why it makes us so happy when we realize some things never change.
Some things never change, huh? Hold on. That means you were still gawking at me as I ate.
Yeah, but can you blame me? You are a fascinating eater. I mean, you're normally really serious, but when you eat, it's like your entire face lights up.
Do you even hear yourself? Yes, well, speaking of things that never change, I thought of an even more important one.
What's that?
Our friendship. The way we're there for each other through thick and thin, even if our relationship changes. We will always hold each other dear.
Okay, that line is way too cheesy. Who taught you to say that? What rogues have you been hanging out with?
Stop complaining and come with me. I want to buy some treats for everyone.
I'd follow you to the ends of the earth, my lady.
What are you doing up so late, Mercy?
I was having trouble sleeping. You too, Annie?
Yup. I'm just so nervous about our battle tomorrow.
Perhaps we should chat for a while to ease our nerves.
That's a great idea. It reminds me of when we were students at the School of Sorcery in Verdiad.
When we shared a room and would stay up chattering until dawn?
Exactly. It feels like that was forever ago.
So much has happened in the meantime. We enrolled in the Officers Academy, the war began.
But we've stuck together through it all, even after classes were suspended. Of course, I'm so clumsy I felt like I was always getting in people's way while we were there. I couldn't have gotten through all this without you by my side.
And I've relied on you just as much. In fact, it often feels like you're the one who's constantly coming to my aid lately. Remember when I got stuck in that bandit's trap? I thought I was done for, but you came to my rescue.
Well, I wasn't gonna leave you in a bandit trap. Although, I just ended up falling right in and getting wounded myself. I was so desperate to save you, I wasn't paying attention to what was around me. If not for you healing me, I don't know what would have happened.
Well, we worked together and made it back in one piece. So all's well that ends well.
You know, I think we've always been like this. I feel like I can overcome anything so long as I'm with you.
And I feel the same. I hope we will be friends forever.
Oh, for sure. We'll be best friends until we're a couple of wrinkled old grannies. There are so many things I want to do with you, and so many places I want to go. I don't care if we're strolling through Deirdre or just window shopping. Everything's better with you.
I would love to go shopping in the capital, and then later, say, Annie, why don't we wait to talk about this until the war is over?
What? Why?
Because then we can each write down things we want to do as we think of them, and then show our list to each other afterward. Doesn't that sound fun?
That sounds very fun. We can even compete to see who has the longest list. I'm gonna scribble all my plans down as soon as I get back to my room so I don't forget.
But won't that keep you up longer?
Oh, right. My insomnia. You were so busy chatting I forgot all about it. Thanks, Mercy. I feel a lot better now.
My sentiments exactly. Good night, Annie. I'll see you tomorrow.
I can depart at once.
I won't let you down.
Stay alert, everyone. Do not let anyone through.
I'll make sure they don't keep the upper hand.
Render your assistance at once!
You are in fine form.
Time to make a name for ourselves.
You'll never win!
Shall we? I am on my way.
I'll give it 1,000%. Leave everything to me.
Thank you, my friend.
You shall not fail.
Sorry, but I gotta fall back.
Knowing when to retreat is a vital strategy.
Fierce as our foe may be, we cannot let ourselves lose heart.
We're in a tight spot. Strike in unison.
Leave this to me! You'll never win! Thank you, my friend.
It's not over.
Let's move out!
Not sure how, but it worked.
I will bring you down for the future of the Empire. Who will challenge me?
I'm fine, really.
I'm sorry. We weren't strong enough.
We did it!
I'll handle this. Lend me your aid.
Strike in unison!
Leave this to me. You'll never win! Thank you, my friend.
Success! Allow me!
to worry about now.
I will not.
I'll add that.
Well, I won't fail.
You can leave this to me.
I'll show you what a mercenary can do.
We'll set them straight.
Hope this is one. Not a problem. I've got one of those easy wins.
I'm all warmed up and ready to fight.
We will proceed as planned. We must strive to perform to the best of our ability.
All would be lost if I were to die here.
Who do you think I am?
I can always trust you to have my back.
All would be lost if I were to die here. We did it! You'll have to take things.
This is not yet the time for celebration.
Time to make a name for ourselves.
Bring me an actual challenge.
You're gonna leave me in the dust if I'm not careful.
You got me backed into a corner.
Luck was on our side today.
well.
Allow me to aid you in battle.
I can fight as well.
If that's what you want.
Don't fall behind.
I'm fully prepared to do battle.
Stay strong! We can win this! Hope this helps.
Let us begin our advance.
Pathetic. Who's next?
Incredible as ever, Felix. How about you take over my part too? Kidding.
Bring me an actual challenge.
Nothing beats seeing you kids all grown up and gallant.
Secure the area.
We can overcome any hardship, including this one.
We've got an emergency! Send backup!
Let's do this!
Sorry, but I gotta fall back.
How can I face my comrades after this?
We have your back. I'll use this.
Oh, too easy.
I beg your assistance at once.
I'm still not satisfied.
You've done Fargus proud.
I'm dragging the others down.
We can ill afford defeat here.
Hope this helps. Too easy.
Resistance is futile.
Give it up!
This victory brings us one step closer to a brighter future.
Can't let my...
I've grown.
Hey, you.
Uh-huh.
You can leave this to me.
I'll do my best.
Nice. I was getting bored anyway.
None shall stand in my path.
Let us cut through our foes.
We will not accept defeat.
Don't push yourself too hard, okay? Shall we? Let's...
Shall we? I must.
I refuse to hold back. You won't stop!
You shall pay for this, you hear?
To offer our enemies.
Nicely done.
This is all my fault.
This is nothing.
There is no honor in being rewarded for such slaughter. I prefer to rejoice thinking of those I've managed to protect.
The power you wield is extraordinary.
I refuse to hold back.
Yeah, right.
You won't stop me!
Tastes more bitter than blackest coffee.
My work here is done.
You can ill afford defeat here.
I refuse to hold back. You won't stop me! Let us press our advantage further.
Oh, Goddess. Thank you for your protection.
I must...
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use. Time to go to work.
Understood.
I can fight as well.
Let's earn our keep.
Advance.
Yeah, we can win this. Let's get this battle underway.
mustn't bring shame upon my good name.
This is all my fault. This place won't be a problem anymore. Stand down! Out of the way! Enemy down!
It is a comfort to know we can rely on you.
You know what they say about playing with fire.
We'll have to take things from here. Don't mind if I do. We'll follow the plan.
We can't let it end like this.
Here goes.
Taste more bitter than black as coffee.
We can ill afford defeat here. We can ill afford defeat here.
Time to go to work.
This is all my fault. On to the next one.
We can rely on you.
A taste more bitter than black as coffee.
Too easy.
I'm glad we can rely on you.
The stronghold's ours.
I'm all right, I think.
They've got me backed into a corner. keep my eye on. A win's a win. Okay.
I won't fail.
I'll do my best.
Who, me? Fine.
We'll set them straight.
I'm not sure.
Here goes. I got you.
Please, excuse me. I'll lend you my... I can do this, but I'll try.
Okay, but I'm not doing any extra work.
We can ill afford defeat here.
If you would like, maybe...
Keep the pressure! Pathetic!
Got me backed into a corner.
Who's next?
Nicely done.
Tastes more bitter than blackest coffee.
move.
If you would like, maybe...
Keep the pressure up! Huh, pathetic! Yeah! Give it up! Each win brings us closer to our goal.
I want to... Care to make yourself useful? We all must do our fair share.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Well, this...
I never turn.
I've grabbed. I'll be...
Time to work you into shape.
A new me...
I'm get.
Time to work you into shape.
I will devote my.
Got to give.
Time to work. Can't wait to see how you do.
My instruction comes at a high price.
The more power, the better. The more power, the better. The more power, the better. The more power, the better.
I didn't know I could do that. It's how you use a power that... It's how you use a... I didn't know I could do that.
Don't neglect your daily studies.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Can't let my...
ready to...
I'll be the...
With proper training, you'll be unstoppable.
So is it true, Catherine? About you and my brother?
Yes, it's true. But are you sure you want to talk about this before your scouting mission?
I wouldn't have asked if I wasn't.
In that case, yes. I chose to hold to what I believed in, which meant he had to die. If you can't forgive me for it, then I stand ready for your challenge.
I have no right to judge you. I also betrayed people I cared about for my beliefs. And in some cases, even led them to their deaths.
Fair enough. Now get going. And make sure you keep your emotions in check while on duty.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey there, Slowpoke. I think this is everyone who's available at the moment. Oh, and I've got some bad news. Looks like Imperial troops have surrounded Ash's scouting unit.
Sounds like they got wise to our plan.
Yep. Either Ash slipped up, or we've got a spy in our midst. Still, they sent a pretty impressive force if they're just looking to take out one little scout party.
That's why we think their true aim lies elsewhere.
Maybe they're hoping to take out Ash before moving on to our main force.
Doubtful. While their force is larger than necessary for a single scouting unit, it's nowhere near large enough for a full-on assault.
Plus, they've already lost the element of surprise. No, I think they're coming after Ash. Apparently, some of the enemy's soldiers were flying the flag of House Gaspar.
That's where Ash is from, right? The House of Lord Lonato?
Yes. But with Lord Lonato dead, it's now all but wiped out. And Ash won't be especially popular with anyone who managed to escape the culling.
You could be the most virtuous, upstanding knight in the land, and still be the embodiment of evil to whoever is on the other side.
Well, that's a fun thought.
We don't know much about the enemy, but there don't seem to be any generals of note among them. So here's the plan. We're all going to rush in there, grab Ash, and hightail it back out. Good? Good.
Already, my knights. You two make sure you're prepared too. If we aren't quick about this, we're all going to end up very dead.
It must be hard for Ash to fight against what remains of his old house.
If he's not ready to have people hate him, he should get out of the killing business. When you're alive and looking to stay that way, your interests inevitably butt up against someone else's. And look, Ash is clearly in a tough spot, but he's no fool. And he's come too far to lay down his life now. I mean, he killed his own father figure in the name of justice. It'll take more than this to shake him.
You've got a lot of confidence in him.
Hey, the guy came from nothing just like me. I can't help but root for him. We need to secure an escape route, but I think we should deal with Ash first.
Right. Who knows how much longer he can hold out. We need to break through the troops surrounding him as soon as possible.
adopted this filthy wretch of a child, Lord Lenato would still draw breath.
I recognize all of these faces. No doubt they despise me for betraying Lenato.
Catapults! Watch out, everyone!
Let's get this operation underway, shall we? Stop. I'll bring it down in no time.
Things I do for this kid. I see why his brother always looked out for him. Ash, I'm coming to rescue you, so don't you dare die before I get there!
Huh? Was that Catherine? What do I do?
I'm in a bad spot.
Too easy.
Another one to keep my eye on.
I'm all right.
Glad you're okay, Ash. Now come on, let's haul ourselves out of here.
I'm sorry for the trouble. Really.
Oh look, it's a trap. I'm so surprised. Come on, let's kill these guys and get out of here. Nope, not getting through here. These folks are clearly trying to hurt us in a certain direction. I don't see another choice.
Don't worry, kid. No trap in all of Fothin can hope to hold us.
Lenato would still be alive if I had just remained loyal and fought beside him.
Lord Lenato looks down on you with scorn, you ungrateful peasant!
And what? Ash was supposed to show his gratitude by dying alongside the guy? Come on. Ash, you did what you did because you thought it was right. So don't give in now.
Yeah.
Why, you little...
I'm sorry, but I did what I thought was right.
Let's keep moving. Well, a different way, because there's no getting through here.
Lots of enemies this way, too. Guess we've just gotta push through them.
We've no other choice. Keep up, Ash.
Yes, ma'am. get it now. Renato would have wanted me to stay true to myself.
You're done!
Well, well, someone finally snapped out of it. You're looking good, Ash. I mean, no match for me, but who is?
My accomplishments won't mean a thing if I'm not still standing when the battle's over.
That was impressive. But surely that's not all you can do with your power.
Our escape route's ready. All that's left is to take it out of here.
Let others say what they will. I've chosen my path.
Okay, that was a lot more work than they're paying me for.
Don't go relaxing just yet. That tricky commander of theirs is still out there. I can still fight.
I'll do my best. Let's...
Oh dear. It appears my friends from Gaspar weren't up to the task.
He must be the one who incited this whole rebellion. He'll pay for that with his life.
Me? No, I am but a humble merchant. Pray do not concern yourselves with me. After I sold them all those weapons, too. What a useless bunch.
You were just using House Gaspar. Admit it!
I'm unstoppable.
I feel like I can do anything with you by my side.
Why does nothing ever go as planned?
And that's that. Come on, Ash. Let's go.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm getting... Looks like we're safe. Though I have to say, we cut that way closer than I'm comfortable with.
You're telling me. I could have done without that wretched merchant riling up what was left of Gaspar. I'm gonna need hazard pay for that one. Remind me to send Dimitri an invoice later.
Don't trouble His Majesty with such things.
Easy there, friend. I'm just blowing off some steam. Don't go getting your honor in a twist.
Well, I am a knight after all. Though, after fighting those people from House Gaspar, I wonder if I'm even worthy of the station.
Our entire job is killing people. It's what we do from sunup to sundown. You really think that line of work won't make you an enemy or three?
Yes, you're right. And if I needed it, this was certainly a stark reminder. Lenato once told me to hold true to my beliefs. So, I'll keep trusting my own sense of justice and walk the path I've chosen. There's no turning back now.
Now there's the Ash I know and love.
Thank you, friend. And thanks to you as well, Catherine.
I could never abandon an ally in need. Besides, I owe it to Kristoff to keep you alive.
So I probably should have asked before. But what kind of connection did you have with Lenato?
I'm responsible for the death of his son, Kristoff, Ash's adoptive older brother. In response, Lenato pinned a baseless crime on me, making it impossible for me to ever return home. In a way, I suppose I should thank him. If not for that, I never would have taken up with Lady Rhea.
You really like Rhea, don't you? I actually respect that. And I don't respect much of anything.
I'd prefer if you respected Lady Rhea rather than me. She truly is wonderful.
This all sounds very complicated.
Oh, it is. But you can't escape your past. No one can. You, Ash, Yuri, we all have our baggage.
Well, what say we head back? I'm sure everyone is waiting for us.
Good idea. The kingdom will need to decide how to deal with House Gaspar.
I hope they can find some measure of peace. Regardless, I intend to help them however I can.
Must you? Whenever you do your best, it tends to make additional work for the rest of us.
Seriously, Yuri, can't you just agree with me for once?
What's wrong, Catherine?
No, nothing. Just thinking about the past is all.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Ignatz Victor reporting, Your Excellency.
Hear me well, you fell brigands. I, Lawrence Hellman Gloucester, stand in judgment before you.
So, not...
Now it is my turn. There is nothing I cannot do.
I think this will go well. I'm prepared to see this through.
All right, here I go. There's...
To be a jerk, but when you stand up and scream your name like that, it prevents us from launching any kind of sneak attack.
House Gloucester has no need of such dishonest trickery. If our foes are asleep, we kick out their pillow before the battle begins. This way, let us deal with the bandits outside the base. I shall not permit you to wreak any more havoc within my borders.
Out of the way!
Why don't you hang back and let us handle this?
Do not coddle. I am more than capable of holding my own against this pack of curs.
Now that I think of it, we're near the place where Claude's grandfather met his end, aren't we?
Indeed. I think you are correct. Could this group perchance have some connection to that most unfortunate incident? You yourself are a former mercenary, yes? Pray point out everyone you recognize.
You do realize that not every mercenary knows each other, right?
That is enough for the soldiers outside. Let us proceed to attacking the base. By the good name of Lawrence Hellman Gloucester, you foul marauders shall terrorize my subjects no longer!
Gloucester, let's get out of here before we get beaten to a pulp again!
I think this will go well. I'm prepared to...
All right, here I go. There's nothing these muscles can't do.
Now it is my turn. There.
If we let these folks go, they'll just cause more trouble somewhere else. Let's track them down. Mother and father died not too far from here. That was a long time ago now.
They were merchants, yes?
Yeah. They were traveling with the old Duke Regan and got attacked by monsters.
On to the next one.
An amazing accomplishment. I hope I can be as useful as you.
During the period when my father employed these mercenaries, monster attacks were a rather common occurrence in this region. And these monsters took the lives of both the former Duke Regan and Raphael's parents.
Pay attention, Lawrence. You keep staring off into space, some bandit's gonna run up and conk you on the head.
Yes, of course. I must focus on the battle at hand.
All right, that should be all.
We can't get out the front. Let's cut around back.
There is some... Now it is my turn. There is nothing I cannot do.
I think this will go well. I'm prepared to see this through.
All right, here I go. There's
something strange about the enemy's current movements. Perhaps they have another escape route in mind?
Everyone looks scrawny compared to you, Raphael. You stopped them.
You? The Count? Where's your father, you little brat?
Retire. I am the Count of Gloucester now.
Don't say. In that case, I'll have to take my revenge on you instead.
Now it is my turn. There is nothing I cannot...
All right, here I go. There's no...
I think this will go well.
He seeks vengeance against my father. Whatever was driving his... troubled by this development. But as the ruler of this domain, I must do my duty and eliminate these bandits.
This is awful. We have to do something. Say, Raphael?
Keep quiet and fight, Ignatz. These guys are serious business.
I think this will go well. I'm prepared to see this through.
All right, here I go. There's nothing these muscles can't do.
Now it is my turn.
This is just the beginning.
Your peerless might deserves respect and admiration. Splendid! We have the advantage. Accept your defeat!
traitorous nobles tired of beating us up yet?
Wait, you claim my father betrayed you?
You're done!
Used us and threw us away like trash, he did. Tried to make us disappear so as to sweep it under the rug. Just kill me and be done with it already. At least that way it'll finally be over.
I would speak with you yet. I need to understand what has transpired here. We did it! We won!
Meat party when we get home, and Lawrence is buying.
You all go on ahead. I must speak with the bandit we captured. Good.
There you are, Lawrence!
Time to work you into shape.
I'll be the...
This strength. This strength.
Can't wait to see how you do.
This one's been leveled too. Every last house in the village reduced to ash. Our first push into enemy territory, and all we have to show for it is the charred remains of people's lives.
The neighboring village was plundered as well. There must have been Imperial soldiers stationed nearby.
What is it, Dimitri?
I don't understand. Why would they do this? Were they trying to stop us from retrieving supplies from these villages? Were they that adamant that we not establish a base here? In a sense, are we responsible for this?
The fiends oppressed this region heavily. Setting it alight was no far step beyond that.
Looked like they raised the fields too.
What wrong had these people committed to deserve such barbarity, such mindless slaughter? And what sort of foul creature would carry it out?
Hard to say. I can get why they might want to burn the buildings down. But there's no reason to execute all the villagers, too. This isn't usually how the Empire does stuff. Sure, their methods have always been pretty rough, but never downright cruel like this.
Agreed. Perhaps this is the result of their failure at Aryan Road. This devastation, this blackened earth. Can this truly be the world she hopes to create?
I suspect Edelgard is no more than a mere puppet now. That, or perhaps a victim of whatever befell Tomas.
You may just be right.
Urgent news, Your Majesty. The Western Church has launched a surprise attack on our rear flank.
I see. And what of our losses?
Minimal as of yet, but the enemy makes to join up with the Imperial Army and strike again.
What's the call, Dimitri?
I'd like to push on, but it seems we will have to put that on hold for now. The Western Church comes first.
But why would the Western Church form an army now of all times?
I know they've had many disagreements with the Central Church over the years, but that doesn't explain the timing.
The answer may lie in the reports that some of Cornelia's associates have been seen among their ranks.
Interesting. The Western Church infiltrated by the very foe we hope to strike down. An organization devoted to the salvation of all, overtaken by another dedicated to nothing but chaos. Now there's some irony.
I guess it depends on what happened when. But if the Western Church has been rubbing elbows with Cornelia's people this whole time, they might have played a role of their own in the tragedy of Dusker.
Indeed, I believe the situation holds many hidden truths. Ones we may never have imagined until this very moment.
Tomas, Cornelia, Tallis? They've been pulling the strings this whole time. But what's that mean for me? My power is the exact same as theirs.
It's certainly a puzzle, yes. A quandary even I don't hold the answer to. Perhaps you're related somehow. Though bearing similar abilities doesn't necessarily make you their kin. The good news is, some of them will be in this very battle. Perhaps you can seek out the truth yourself.
Then I'll be off.
I'll cut them all down.
I'm ready.
Sure thing.
Understood.
I thought this was the Western Church's army. You wouldn't know it with all those outside
Stand
forces.
down.
Imperial and otherwise.
I've awaited this.
I'll handle this.
We must help these people, and quickly. We can focus on gaining territory after. Priority is granting the local citizens an escape. To do so, we must start by capturing the nearby strongholds.
Still people trapped inside the fortress. We need to get to them fast.
The kingdom's here already? Loot whatever you can.
Get a load of this guy here for the wrong job. Who made him an Imperial General anyway?
I got this.
One stronghold secured. We must now capture another.
Take a breather.
shall take the lead. As tantamount to death for these people should these strongholds fall. We must keep them secure.
I'm out of here for killing innocent people. Goes against the Merc Code.
It's too late to have morals now. We're paying you to kill, so you buckle down and do it.
This isn't even Kingdom territory. What would embolden them to do such things?
Begin the operation. Stand down! Let us take this stronghold!
Allow me.
You can have your dirty money back. Find someone else for this job.
Shut up and do as you're told. Oh, these pieces can't follow orders.
Not a problem. I've got it. My turn?
We won't let you get away with any more of this.
Here it comes! Out of the way! You're done!
We made it! Come on, we have to help the others! I'll give it 1,000%! Leave everything to me.
I'll handle this.
I think that's all of them. No matter what happens from here on out, we have to keep them safe.
We saved as many as we possibly could. Now we need to see them safely evacuated to the strongholds outside the fortress.
I see you trying to deceive him. Not on my watch. You fools will get what you deserve.
We have a squad of healers in reserve. They should be able to provide aid to injured citizens.
We will proceed as planned. We must strive to perform to the best of our ability.
Please, heal them.
I've awaited.
Not a problem. I'm here
at this
The
moment.
goddess. I hope that grants us some peace of mind for a little while.
Stand down.
Ready the ballisti! Let's see them off with a nice parting gift!
Those ballisti are trouble. We should split up and take them down.
Get out of here, Mediday! I said I'm leaving.
Begin the operation.
breather.
And I said, you're going nowhere! You stay put and watch these peasants die!
Is that at the center in their ranks? We should reach out to him before things escalate any further.
You saved me!
Thanks a bunch! No, not yet!
You're letting them get away. I'm not done feasting the fear in their eyes yet.
They just keep coming.
Hard to fight and keep your prizes safe at the same time, isn't it?
Come on. You gotta be kidding me. Let me out!
We did it! We've created a safe path forward.
The people should be safe in the strongholds for now, but we must keep defending them to the victory.
Let's get this operation underway, shall we? I'll cover you.
Let's begin. I defend.
Unbelievable. They've all escaped. Guess it's time to finish this myself.
Perfect. For you. The big bad's on the field now. Don't take your eyes off the strongholds. This is our chance to take him down.
We will proceed as planned. We must
I'll do my best. I'm a little nervous about this.
Let's get this operation underway, shall we? Start it.
Begin the operation. Our orders are clear.
Greater Merc still needs to be dealt with. Get him!
So that's how it's gonna be, huh? Don't think I'll just take this lying down!
Here it comes! Out of the way! You're done! Here it comes! You're done!
We should probably close the gates to the strongholds that are...
You let all the maggots get away, but I wasn't done torturing them. You'll just have to take their place.
Sheltering the event. Louise.
Thanks for the rescue! What was I thinking? Taking a job working under those jerks?
Perhaps you'd like to join us instead. We can make it worth your while.
Sure, why not? Mind if I get a breather first, though? It's been a rough one.
Do it now. Close the gates.
Now that the people are safe, press the enemy with no holds barred.
For you!
No one gets past us. Got it?
Don't let them in.
We'll strike at their weakest point. Enemy down.
I'm glad you can rely on me.
gold I racked up here is going to make all... Wait. If it's money you want, I'll split the loot.
Is that what passes for an Imperial General these days?
Ultimately, Metaday, you were no better than a stupid beast. We will withdraw. I am Myson, liberator of humankind from the control of filthy vermin.
You're mine! You'll never win!
Thank you, my friend.
So that guy's the brains behind the...
Not a problem. I've got this.
We will proceed. We must strive to perform to the best of our ability.
All this, don't let him get away.
Not a problem. I've got this.
We will proceed as planned. We must strive to perform to the best of our ability.
Let's begin. It's time to move.
Let's get this operation underway, shall we? Start.
Must keep the people safe. Whatever happens, protect our strongholds.
While I may have turned a blind eye to the Empire's brutality, this wasn't what I signed up for. I'm out.
Don't let them get away.
I'll do what I can. It's...
My turn.
Begin the operation.
Called.
You are all descendants of the most inconsequential of beasts, and your deaths will fuel our grand ambition.
No, he's looking an awful lot like Cornelius Creeps.
Not to be held up by such foul vermin.
Let's begin.
No matter the justification, your actions are inexcusable.
No, not yet.
Let's begin. Come with me.
Our order. I'm glad to go.
Well, who's next?
Wow, that was great!
You're mine! Prepare! You'll never win!
Thank you, my friend.
I suppose we cannot make any more gains here. No sense in sticking around. Unless...
Myson, was it?
Your Your efforts saved countless lives today. Hold your head high.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Where are you, Myson?
Why? Why do you wield the power of Epimenides?
Epimenides?
Tell me, where did you obtain it? Unless... his core...
His what? What are you even talking about? The power I got from Arvel?
I'm not sensing his presence anymore. Myson has fled.
Yeah, and left us with nothing but questions. I didn't get a word of what he was saying.
Afraid the same goes for me. That was all quite perplexing indeed.
Either way, it's clear as day we're connected somehow. Arvel, this power of yours, it's more dangerous than you've been letting on.
You think? I have to say, you've handled it with some serious aplomb these past few years. If you ask me, I see no reason to start fearing it now. The strength I've given you has saved countless lives, and you know it. Don't you remember what Dimitri said? Power itself is neutral. The good or evil comes from the one who wields it. So I say you keep using it, both to protect your friends and to finally defeat the Ashen Demon. Got something on your mind? You seemed oh so distracted during your training today.
A bit, yeah. It's kinda hard to just move on after what Myson said to me. Speaking of, he mentioned my power coming from some guy named Epimenides? Part of me wonders if that's not somehow referring to you, Arvel.
I can't say for sure. The whole no memories thing, remember?
Right. I guess neither of us really know the truth about ourselves.
And I don't care to. Not now, anyway. There's an order all this should be done in. Priorities that take hold. If you let yourself get distracted by every shiny new object that comes along, you'll never reach your goal.
Which is what exactly? Wait, don't tell me.
Defeating the Ashen Demon. Everything starts from there. You can think for the rest of time if you want, but you'll never discover the truth with only the information you have now. Not to mention that ending that fiend is the best and only way to protect the new friends you adore so much.
Yeah, you're probably right.
His Majesty requests your presence. Lord Rodrigue has just arrived. They hope to discuss strategy.
Got it. I'll be right over.
Such concludes the report I received from my son. The Western Church's assault does not appear to have meaningfully hampered the kingdom's progress.
Glad to hear it. We'd better make sure we can keep up.
It sounds like everyone's pulling their weight over there too. What a relief.
But Claude, what do you propose we actually do? Crossing the Great Bridge of Murden will only land us square in Burgley's territory, home to the Empire's Minister of Military Affairs himself.
I don't get how we can invade the Empire without losing a ton of people.
Simple. We don't really invade. All we have to do is make it look like we will. I told Dimitri the same thing. Remember, Garrick Mach is the actual prize here. If we get dragged into a mud fight deep in their territory, pulling out won't be an option. The most important thing is convincing them they need to keep a nice, big flock of troops stationed to defend the Eastern Front.
And how do we do that?
How else? We use the many-headed snake.
Ugh, gross. I don't like the sound of this.
Don't worry, that's just the name of the strategy. It's an old trick they used to pull east of Fodlan. Imagine our army's a many-headed snake, striking at a bunch of different targets all at once. Meaning not just the Great Bridge of Murden, but every other bridge that spans the Aramid too. The second the Empire starts trying to sever any one head in particular, we pull it back and redouble our efforts from the others.
A plan as arrogant and brazen as our leader himself, and yet an effective one to hear tell of it. At any rate, My opinion bears little weight in this chamber. I leave the decision to you.
We need to consider all our options here. If we really do reclaim Garrett Mach, Fodlan will undoubtedly change. And when it does, our army needs the strength to greet whatever horizon awaits.
Azure Gleam. Reprisal. Having repelled the forces of the Western Church, the Kingdom and Alliance armies joined together to launch a large-scale coordinated attack on the Empire. Preparing to assault a key Imperial position, the Kingdom army uses northeastern Gert territory as a bridgehead to press further south. Meanwhile, a reliable ally returns to their side.
It's good to see you safely back, Rodrigue. I understand matters have begun to settle down in the West.
They have. It took more than a few lengthy inquiries, but I believe we finally excised the foul seed of discord from our soil. And the changes at the top of houses Gideon, Mateus, and Elidor should ensure it never takes root again.
So they're keeping their territories then? I would have expected us to remove them completely after what they did.
Such is easier said than done. Our prior situation with House Kleiman took time as well.
Yes. Replacing the head of a territory always brings dissenters crawling out of the woodwork to oppose it. Be they nobles or commoners.
At least now we won't have to worry about our land descending into chaos behind us. We can't just keep repeating the same mistakes. I must say, though, I'm surprised this all went as smoothly as it did.
I did used to be the eminent Duke Fraldarius, remember? I have just a bit of experience with these things.
In any case, we must turn our gaze eastward. How's the Alliance holding up?
According to Gustav's report, Claude is holding out for the perfect opportunity to advance his army. Naturally, they don't favor their chances in a head-on clash with the famed Count Burgleys. So, for the time being, they intend to feign a deadlock and slowly dwindle away the enemy forces.
It seems the decision to reclaim the monastery was a shrewd one, then. It's our best path forward.
I know we're slated to advance on Hevring territory, but shouldn't we hold off till the Alliance can come help us too?
No. On the contrary. If we can show our individual might warrants attention, the Empire will have no choice but to dispatch more troops west, which should in turn ease the burden on the Alliance and their army. Claude and I agreed to as much.
The real question is whether we can even trust him. It's impossible to tell if you ask me.
If anything, he might be trying to wear us down. Soften us up so he can beat the stuffing out of us later.
I doubt he would do something like that. At least, not in the midst of pursuing the same goal. But you're right. Claude's tricky to pin down. You can never really tell what he's plotting.
I don't believe we can be too cautious here. We should consider every possible angle.
Agreed. But if the Alliance does try anything, Gustav and the Knights of Seros should be more than enough to thwart their plans. For now, though, we march on. Ready your units.
So, we finally take aim at the Empire in earnest.
Yes. We must finish this swiftly, for the sake of all those caught in the middle.
If you don't mind me asking, Your Majesty, do you have it within you to topple the Emperor? I speak not of military prowess, nor the strength of our army. No. I speak of your emotions.
He's got a point. I mean, she's your stepsister. Anyone would hesitate to cut down their own family.
She is an old friend as well, though I doubt she has any recollection of it now. Rodrigue, do you truly think my hand will waver? I, who cleaved my own uncle's head from his shoulders? Now, seeing as the Empire was involved in the tragedy of Duscur, there is still much I must ask of her. In a way, she and I are no different. Starting wars of our own volition, sending countless innocent lives to the feet of the goddess. However noble one's reasoning may be, a deed like that cannot go unpunished. And if she refuses to yield, then as a king, and one seeking revenge at that, I will take her life.
I'm pleased to hear it. Ah, that reminds me. I meant to give you this earlier.
A letter?
One from Lady Patricia. I uncovered it during our inquiry of Viscount Elidor.
From my stepmother.
I hope you'll forgive the intrusion, but I have already examined its contents. The letter contains no new information of note. That said, I expect you'll find the subject matter quite disturbing indeed, Your Majesty.
I see. I will read it later, then.
Oh, Dimitri. Have you read that letter from your stepmom yet?
Yes, I have. It was a missive requesting the then Viscount Elidor's cooperation in her conspiracy against my father. She claimed he would have much to gain from the king's elimination, all while shrewdly expressing sympathy with his objections to the reforms. I had it investigated for signs of forgery as a precaution, but such a search returned nothing. The letter is authentic.
Meaning your stepmom was a willing participant in the tragedy of Dusker. She sent so many to die, and would have done the same to her own stepson if all had gone according to plan.
All out of the desire to see her daughter again, or so Cornelius said. The wretch's words deserve little weight, but I believe she spoke true. In every memory I hold of my stepmother, she was always looking past me, as if the one she truly cared for was somewhere else entirely.
That's horrible. I never knew my real mom, but the woman who adopted me loved me with all her heart. That's how it should be.
It was horrible, yes, but what of it? There is no guarantee a parent will come to love their child. Still, being faced with such plain evidence of her crimes is a difficult thing to come to terms with. I had once thought her among those I would avenge. Yet now she lies squarely in the path of my fury.
Pretty heavy stuff, yeah.
I can tell you're troubled as well.
You can see straight through me, huh? Guess that's what 3 years together will do. It's Myson, that dark mage from before. He was familiar with my power somehow. And yeah, I know you said you trust me, but I'm not so sure I even trust myself anymore. I just can't stand not knowing the truth. Who am I, really?
No matter what answer awaits, I will continue to place my trust in you. That hasn't changed.
But what if I transform and attack you?
I would do whatever I must to restrain you, naturally. Failing that, forgive me. It helps no one to utter such words.
It's fine. If nothing else, the threat of death is good motivation for me to get this power under control.
Have you lost your mind? It almost sounds like you'd be okay with him killing you.
I don't want to die, of course. But if it was between that and killing a friend, I know which one I'd pick.
What about this?
What do you think of this? Let's see what we can do.
Now then,